Look at what is being said, not who is saying it. John Adams first served as the first Vice President of the United States before becoming the second president from 1797 to 1801. Dubbed as one of the founding fathers of the United States, he governed the American Revolution with patriotism, intelligence, and notable leadership that many looked up to in his time. He is best known for his accomplishments during his term, which included advocating for the United States' separation from Great Britain, involving himself in the Continental Congress, as well as spearheading peace through the Treaty of Paris. This eventually led to the end of the American Revolutionary War. As a leader who graduated from Harvard University and has a long list of accomplishments in his career as a prominent lawyer, writer, and diplomat, these John Adams quotes are undoubtedly etched in the history of Americans. American leaders, as well as other renowned country leaders across the world, look up to what John Adams achieved during his presidency and the legacy he left behind. This long list of John Adams quotes proves that until now, his legacy lives on through his wise words that inspire many to be better leaders and citizens. There are two types of education. One should teach us how to make a living, and the other how to live. I must judge for myself, but how can I judge? How can any man judge unless his mind has been opened and enlarged by reading? Let us tenderly and kindly cherish, therefore, the means of knowledge. Let us dare to read, think, speak, and write. Let every sluice of knowledge be opened and set a-flowing. Above all, except the wife and children, I want to see my books. You will never be alone with a poet in your pocket. I read my eyes out and can't read half enough neither. The more one reads, the more one sees we have to read. The longer I live, the more I read, the more patiently I think, and the more anxiously I inquire, the less I seem to know. Do justly, love mercy, walk humbly. This is enough. Human passions unbridled by morality and religion would break the strongest chords of our Constitution as a whale goes through a net. Go on and improve in everything worthy. Virtue is not always amiable. The true source of our suffering has been our timidity. We have been afraid to think. Let us dare to read, think, speak, and write. If conscience disapproves, the loudest applauses of the world are of little value. Liberty, once lost, is lost forever. Facts are stubborn things, and whatever may be our wishes, our inclinations, or the dictates of our passion, they cannot alter the state of facts and evidence. Old minds are like old horses. You must exercise them if you wish to keep them in working order. No man is entirely free from weakness and imperfection in this life. Defeat appears to me preferable to total inaction. I will rouse up my mind and fix my attention. I will stand collected within myself and think upon what I read and what I see. I will strive with all my soul to be something more than persons who have had less advantages than myself. You will ever remember that all the end of study is to make you a good man and a useful citizen. This will ever be the sum total of the advice of your affectionate father. To believe all men honest is folly. to believe none is something worse. Tyranny can scarcely be practiced upon a virtuous and wise people. As much as I converse with sages and heroes, they have very little of my love or admiration. I should prefer the delights of a garden to the dominion of a world. Thanks to God that He gave me stubbornness when I know I am right. Let frugality and industry be our virtues. Fire our children with ambition to be useful. Friendship is one of the distinguishing glories of man. From this, I expect to receive the chief happiness of my future life. Children should be educated and instructed in the principles of freedom. To be good and to do good is all we have to do. Posterity. You will never know how much it costs the present generation to preserve your freedom. I hope you will make good use of it. If you do not, I shall repent in heaven that I ever took half the pains to preserve it. Public business. My son, must always be done by somebody. It will be done by somebody or other. If wise men decline it, ours will not. If honest men refuse it, others will not. I fear that in every elected office, members will obtain an influence by noise, not sense, by meanness, not greatness, by ignorance, not learning, by contracted hearts, not learned souls. There must be decency and respect. Liberty cannot be preserved without a general knowledge among the people. Always stand on principle, even if you stand alone. Power must never be trusted without a check. In politics, the middle way is none at all. Because power corrupts, society's demands for moral authority and character increase as the importance of the position increases. Move or die is the language of our Maker in the constitution of our bodies. Our obligations to our country never cease but with our lives. We ought to do all we can. The prospect now before us in America ought to engage the attention of every man of learning to matters of power and right, that we may be neither led nor driven blindfolded to irretrievable destruction. I must study politics and war, that our sons may have liberty to study mathematics and philosophy. Our sons ought to study mathematics and philosophy, geography, natural history, and naval architecture, navigation, commerce, and agriculture in order to give their children a right to study painting, poetry, music, architecture, statuary, tapestry, and porcelain. What do we mean by the revolution? The war. That was no part of the revolution. It was only an effect and consequence of it. The revolution was in the minds of the people. Abuse of words has been the great instrument of sophistry and chicanery, of party, faction, and division of society. When legislature is corrupted, the people are undone. Liberty must at all hazards be supported. We have a right to it derived from our Maker. But if we had not, our fathers have earned and bought it for us, at the expense of their ease, their estates, their pleasure, and their blood. We hope these words will help you succeed and never forget to be kind to others.